Accuracy, hit percentage, or as high-level competitive players call it, aim gooder. Methods to increase your weapon's accuracy have been highly sought after, and we finally have a solution. Not only this, but we have answers to questions from my previous video and evidence to back them up. Big thanks to Jex, Ali, Mia, DJ Wolfbot for helping with video structure and gathering clips and evidence. Special thanks to Kyo, FLC, Procharo, Bradley, Frosty, Civilian, MindNice for their cooperation in this video's creation. I'm Eris, and today we're showing you the effects of movement to range and accuracy. Last video we talked about the relationship with bullet velocity and increased accuracy. If you could add to the velocity of a bullet, you could increase the overall accuracy of your weapon. The question was, how do we increase bullet velocity? Well, in Splatoon 2, ink bullets follow similar physics to projectiles with similar speeds in real life. You could increase the velocity of said projectile, such as a ball, by running while you throw it. In Splatoon, if you move in the same direction you're shooting, you could increase the velocity of a shot by a small amount additively. We could see this increase in net velocity affecting the range of a large amount of weapons, namely ones with long-lasting projectiles like Range Blaster as well as bombs. Range Blaster's terminal velocity is 10.8 units per frame for 11 frames and slows down for an additional 4 frames. Adding the movement speed from jumping at max swim speed, 1.92 units per frame for 11 frames, we could see the range increase is around 21.12 units maximum, which is slightly less than half of a training room bar. We could call this beneficial vector caused by player movement Additive Shot Speed, or ASS for short. Due to this calculation being additive, vectors that counteract the shot vector decreases the shot's net velocity. Unfortunately, the clip needed to show this calculation is difficult on Range Blaster, but can be shown with ballpoint splatling firing from close range, then going at constant speed, then stopping at its max range. We could see a gap between shots not hitting the target and hitting the floor just in front of the target, and then hitting the target again with no increase in the pitch axis on the controller. For consistency, I redid this clip with stick controls and achieved the same results. This section is to demonstrate that vectors in other directions can influence net velocity similar to real-life physics. Since this concept works in all directions and not just forward, we could label this under an umbrella term we call Directionally Enhanced Shooting, or DES for short. So now that we know the effects of movement direction on projectiles, how does ASS increase accuracy? When trying to find accuracy, we could graph a cone with a max range and max inaccuracy of a projectile. Range Blaster's max inaccuracy when straight jumping, which is jumping up, is 8 degrees at max range. It will have a 25% chance to go to either side of the outer reticle and miss, which is a 50% total chance. We can use trigonometry to calculate the sway in units rather than an arc with degrees. This sway line is a line in which all shots regardless of accuracy are in range to direct hit due to Range Blaster's max speed projectile being 118.8 units. The center line is around half a unit shorter than the maximum inaccuracy, but much like showers at PAX East, this value is often neglected. When we plot ASS on the graph, we can see positive results. When applied to Range Blaster, the cone becomes narrower from 8 degrees to 6.8 degrees. You could calculate this hit percentage from this 1.2 degree difference by finding the area of the straight jump triangle, which has a 50% chance to miss, then mark 118.8 units distance on the DES triangle, multiply it by the same chance to miss, 50%, take the area of the hit zone of the DES triangle, which is 50% of the DES triangle's area, divide the area of the DES triangle hit zone with the total area of the straight jump triangle's area, you get a 42.3% chance to miss, 57.7 hit. While this doesn't have the same effect as MPU on Range Blaster, you could stack. The reason behind this angle change increasing accuracy is because it simulates the player being closer to the target, meaning the target is relatively bigger due to proximity. This is the reason why people online felt that RSM and shooting with Range Blaster felt better than straight jumping. According to MindNice, the velocity calculation for Range Blaster is done immediately when the blaster is fired. In Bradley's RSM video, you would typically try and circle backwards to do blaster RSM, however, the forward momentum while jumping is already calculated in ASS before you do the backwards input. This set of calculations for range blaster is something we categorized in a collective called Direct Inaccuracy Calculation, or DIC for short. To summarize what we learned, we could combine this DIC with the player's ass to get a higher chance to hit. So far, we learned about the relationship of the player's movement to net velocity, ass, velocity to range, des, range to accuracy, explained with DIC. In a series of tweets I'll make later on this week, I'll do all these math calculations again for 96, Aerospray, and other weapons that were used to test RSM that had deaths involved when they were unknowingly walking forward. Thank you for watching.